Okay, so I feel like I've been thinking a lot about friendship, and it's really hard to do. It's really hard to make friends. I don't know. Ever since I moved to a different country, it's been a little bit overwhelming. So let's start at the beginning. I think a lot about how it's difficult to do hard things in life. For example, get started on reading or studying or exercising. But all of those things are what are the most rewarding to us. And so I try my best to do them every day, whatever it is. However, I never really considered the fact that socializing, for me at least, could be considered one of those hard things that is, I know, very rewarding for humans. But it's kind of in its own category and never really considered something that's in line with the others. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Ever since moving, it has been increasingly difficult, I think, to socialize out of just me wanting to do it. Not me being somewhere like at school, which I count for myself. If I go to school, then I say, okay, you were social today, you did it, good job. But out of me actually going out of my way to socialize with people and hang out, it's not something that I push myself to do. Now, the hardest part for me in doing a lot of things is just getting started. This is for everybody. It's like the first 5 minutes or the first 10 minutes before, maybe even a lot longer than that, is being procrastinated and put off and said, oh, I don't really know if I want to do that, even though you know how you feel after feels so good. But then when you're doing it, you're kind of flowing, and then afterwards you're thinking about how nice it was, hopefully. But yeah, I think that since I moved somewhere new, it's just been a little bit overwhelming in my mind because instead of having this group of friends that I've known for years, I don't really know anybody. So instead of having like safety people or like siblings or family members that are like your age, like that you would consider friends, maybe you have like one or two of these already in the new country, me, for example. But then everybody else I have to meet and go out of my way to actually build a relationship with, which is difficult because it's like you can't just throw yourself into a friendship. You actually have to take the time to see if you're compatible with somebody. And at first, the first steps are really hard because how do you even find somebody that has similar interests as you? That's the first step. If you win at that, you win at a lot. But then afterwards, you have to kind of date, like go, like hang out and get to know each other better and spend time together and see if you have similar senses of humor or if that's something that you care about. For me, what I care about the most in friendship, I would say, is trust, vulnerability. I wrote down a couple of notes, so let me get those out. Why am I against having my notes out? It's okay. Oh no, I wrote in my journal. Okay. Trust, patience. Patience is huge because I feel like I'm very patient, but when somebody's not patient with me, I feel so like, I don't know. I don't like that feeling. I don't like that. Like, take a deep breath. It's all gonna be okay. Trust is huge because how am I supposed to be friends with somebody I can't trust? That is not for me, sorry. Acceptance. I think acceptance for me is something that is kind of like being open-minded. I feel really open-minded. I feel like I've seen a lot of different types of people and different situations and experiences, which have made me really open-minded. And I felt open-minded before. And then the more experiences that I have, I get kind of surprised with how much more open there is to become. But then also like the acceptance, kind of like not judging, like just being kind of like, I don't know. I think that I'm the friend that somebody could tell anybody to, and I would just be like, cool, like no problem. But not, yeah, I don't know. Vulnerability is really big because that's kind of the test to know that you trust somebody. But I don't know. Maybe not all the way. It doesn't mean that you really trust somebody if you're vulnerable with them. But I guess it could mean to a certain extent, like, hey, I kind of like you. I'm going to tell you this story. Or that you even feel like reflective around them. I think that's nice. And also inspiration. Inspiration is huge for me because if I don't leave you and I don't feel at all inspired, then what do I feel? I think that there are friends that don't hit all of those categories, but I think that for me, those are my core wants and needs in relationships. But of course you have like friends that you just like laugh with, or I don't know, that just show up for you in different ways. But I think that as a whole, it would be nice to have those. So yeah. Anyways, like I said, spending a lot of time with somebody is definitely really important because you're kind of forced to see how each other operates, and also if you can deal with it, if you can both like keep up with each other.
this?
A pink hydro flask.